Hi parents, it's Mrs. Hoy from the English department. Tonight, I'm really glad that you're here so that we can talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing with our iPads next year in the English department that will be extremely beneficial to student learning in our classrooms. I'm very particularly going to talk about a free app, free, always good, the free app called Subtext. It's going to allow us to basically create our own e-readers, and I'm going to show you a few quick things that I'm very, very excited about in regard to the use of subtext.
So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and all I have to do to add an assigned reading is tap to add books. And let's say, let me see, as a freshman, I would like to add the book Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. So I'm just going to put that in my search, and it's going to go looking for it. And when it finds it, and here it is, and by the way, marked as a free book. So I don't have to pay anything for the app, and I don't have to pay anything for this book. And I'm going to add this to my library. So I've added it to my library. I come back here. I go through my list of books. There's Ethan Frome. So now I'm ready to read. What I have done for my students once they open up the book is I have pre-marked several things. So here's the cover of the book. I have my page numbers down here at the bottom. That's one new thing that's really was an issue of concern for us, is that on e-readers often there are no page numbers, but Subtext has page numbers. If I'm in class and I'm asking my students to go to page 24, all they have to do is slide their finger to page 24 and it goes. So I'm going to come back to the beginning of my book. And as my students begin to read, they're going to see that I have pre-marked some things. So one of the really excellent things that I like about Subtext as a teacher is I can create a very active reading experience for my students. So you can see over in the right-hand margin here, I have these blue icons. All students have to do is touch them, and it will come up quoting a certain section that I have pre-marked, and it has some guiding questions here. Now, I can just ask students to think about these questions, or I can set it up that they have to answer them. So I would know outside of class who's reading, which questions they have answered, or they can shoot me a question that's bothering them as they read. And if I'm online, I can answer them immediately. So it really takes care of all the things that students decide are roadblocks to finishing their homework. I didn't understand what I was reading, so I quit. So I have color marked some things here. So I have in yellow anything that is a character description of some sort. I'm using green to indicate development of some kind, and I'm using lavender to mark words that I just simply don't know. So I'm going to come back up to this yellow section. I think my students will be baffled by what a hollow-backed bay is. So I've pre-marked this, and I can either tap here on this blue icon or on the yellow shaded area, and it's going to show them a picture of a horse because that's what a hollow-backed bay is. I can embed photos, I can embed videos, I can do anything, add anything that I think is going to enhance the experience of the reading experience for my students. The other thing that I really like is that if there's an unknown word here, all a student has to do is touch, release, and the definition comes up at the bottom of the page. So it's really, really quite easy to do. All a student has to do to participate in this is join the student group that I call the Starkfield Dance Band. There's a code, they enter that, and they become a part of the group. I've pre-selected what students can see, and I've also created a group for teachers. So we have a number of teachers involved with each course that's taught. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. And in fact, we encourage each other to grow as educators. So we can share a copy of the book. We can share, what kinds of things our students are asking about. And we can share our annotations and the guiding questions that we're embedding in the text. So overall, what a fantastic thing Subtext is. Again, a free app. And I'm just going to page through here all the books that we have in our curriculum that you used to pay anywhere between $10 and $20 a copy for are now absolutely free. What a fantastic thing for us as a community. What a great thing for our students. So that's why I'm very excited about the use of Subtext in the English classrooms with our iPad rollout.
So I've just showed you a few ways that subtext can be used in our English classrooms, and we're very excited about all the qualities of this free app that will keep our students engaged in reading, either by swiping through the pages or color annotating items that are of interest or noteworthy or curiosity based kind of question that will happen in class the next day. Answering the pop-up questions in the right-hand margin, entering into discussions with other members of the discussion group, all those awesome things happening while they are reading independently. So, you know, what's class time used for then if all these things can happen on their own time? Well, nothing's ever going to replace a good old-fashioned face-to-face conversation, and we're keeping that. So we're looking at this as an enhancement, not a replacement. And we're very, very excited to have this become a part of who we are as a premier blue ribbon school, and continue to challenge ourselves into the future with all the awesome things that are available.